Sure, Coach mentioned that even with the ups and downs of the season, you're still a better player now than you were when you started the year. Just how do you feel that you've grown overall as a player this season?
I agree with him. I do feel like I'm a better player this year than I was, and even more a better player now than the start of this year, just from, going through a tough time and learning from it. So I'm going to take all of that I learned from this year and try to take it into next year, in the summer.
How challenging was this year for you? You kind of start like as a big part of the rotation, that kind of fades a little bit. What was that like for you?
It was tough, but, it was easier to get through, with the coaches and my teammates. They made it easier for me. But it was definitely tough, a couple bad days. But, I'm learning from it, and I'm going to continue to grow and get better.
Should, Mark always talks about you can't be just a one-trick pony guy. You're known for offense, shooting. To do the other things, is that as much mental as it is the physical part, or what's the toughest part of being developing those other aspects of your game?
Yeah, I think it is more mental, because there's times where, I've shown the other parts where I could do things on defense. It's just about being consistent with it. So I feel like it's there. It's just more mental.
What are some of the main things you want to work on this offseason?
Just making sure I'm staying sharp. I talk to, the coaches, what they want from me next year. So I'm just going into the summer, with the information that they just gave me, which is simple. But, yeah, just going in there, staying sharp, and then working on the things that they just talked about.
Mentally, how tough was it to be in and out of the lineup all year?
This was probably the toughest year I had. I had a similar situation in Florida, but, this was tougher on me. But, like I said, my teammates and my coaches made it, easier for me to manage. So.
How much are you turning that into fuel for this offseason to come back better?
A lot, but I say it's more, knowledge and, learning from it than it is fuel. I'm not going to, be mad about it or anything. I'm using it as a growing tool and something to learn from more than fuel.
Are there like one or two guys specifically that kind of helped you, and you said your teammates kind of helped you through this year? Like, who are you close with, or who are some of those guys you could kind of talk to through things?
Yeah, Aaron, somebody like I talk to a lot. But me and his conversations are more like, happy, joking, like still having fun with it. And I feel like the learning part stuff was coming from Shay and K. Rich mainly.
Even with just your inconsistent rotation and role this season, just seeing this group and how it came together and the way you guys were able to fight and compete this season, just what was that like for you?
It was fun to be a part of. It just showed like how dedicated, how together we were. I feel like we had a great bond, and it was just fun coming to work every day, being around the same guys. Wish we could have went, farther, but I feel like we did really, really good this year, and it was just fun coming to work every day.
What made that bond so strong? Because every guy that we've talked to has just mentioned just how close and tight this team is and how special it is. Just what makes that bond so special for you guys?
I don't know. I think people just being themselves, and we all kind of like, having the same interests, mindsets. I don't know what really made it special. I think we all just clicked, and we accepted everybody for who they were, and just tried to have as much fun as we could.
Did that bond help when you had those high intensity days coming in, day after flying in from a game and had to go to work?
Yeah, for sure. It was fun.
A little random, but going back to the Pelicans game, what was it that you saw with 8 minutes left that made you say that it was over for them?
I really saw it in the first couple of minutes. Just how connected we were. Like everybody was on the same page those first couple of defensive possessions, and it just looked like it was no space for nobody. And I was just like, dang, like we locked in right now. And I can see it in everybody's faces. And then, I just feel like that close at that time. Like I just trust Shea. And like we talked about it all year. And it was like, I just feel like it was another moment where he was going to do his thing. And that's all it really was. But the first couple possessions, I saw like how locked in we were.
Speaking of Shea, I mean, his season is up there with some of the best seasons in NBA history. What was it like just watching him just perform the way he did this year?
I mean, it was crazy, but I saw the work that he put in a little bit this summer. I saw the mindset, the mentality was different this year than it was last year. So I knew it was going to be a big year for him. But, it was cool, a lot to learn from him. But it was great to see and, like, witness firsthand.
Who won the one-on-one battle between you and Kenrich?
I did. Y'all met with him yet?
He said he won.
K-Rich, that's one thing. K-Rich not going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real. He beat me the first 2 games. And then after that, it was just like, it was over with. Then he tried to bring up different excuses and it don't count this day of the month or just all. I won like 4-2 though.
Did you play anybody else or was it just Kenrich?
We played, it was just me and him at first, and then guys started jumping in. Baisley jumped in. Ooze jumped in a couple times. Mike was in there. Wiggy got in one time. So it was really me and him every day, but like other people jumped in sometimes.
Did anybody beat you?
Baisley had a day where he won like most of the spots, but other than that, it was me.
We've already talked about how this year didn't go as planned for you personally, but I believe that there's always a positive and a negative. What was your positive from this, challenging year for yourself?
Just showing how tough I am mentally. I know a situation like this can break people or it can make people. I feel like this one definitely made me. And like I said, I'm going to use this whole season, this whole experience, going into this summer and then going into next year as like a learning process and, ways that I could have did stuff different this year. I'll know that for next year in case I'm in a similar situation. So, that's the positive. I feel like I learned a lot from this season. I got better.
So, Steph, and then do you have any plans to link back up with Joe this summer?
Yeah. I haven't talked to him yet, but I definitely got plans.
Go back to those one-on-ones. When you and Kenrich were playing, y'all would argue like y'all were brothers. Did it start off like that, or did it build up to that?
You saying like our relationship or just the one-on-ones?
The arguing during the one-on-one.
Me and K-Rich compete. Like K-Rich is very competitive. Nobody does nothing better than K-Rich. Like, you can't do nothing better. Michael Phelps does not swim better than K-Rich. Like nothing. So like every day it's a competition. He come in there, I dress better than you today, or I eat better than you today. Like it's competition every day. And like when I first got here, that was the first person the trainers was talking about. It was like, yeah, K-Rich. He talks the most trash. He wins the most one-on-ones. So the first day I was like, let's play one-on-one. It was me, him, Poku, and Veet. And from there it was just like a competitive friendship. And that's how it's been since then.
Anybody else?
As a lyricist, what do you think Shea's best Instagram caption was this season?
That's a tough one. I have to say the Houston one. After the Houston game, something he said about 3 quarters full, how he like his drinks or something like that. But it was crazy. I really don't think that's all shade too, but I don't know. I think Drake sending them stuff. Me personally, I think it's Drake, but I don't know. He said he good at, lyrics and stuff like that. He said he gonna get in the studio a little bit this summer, so we'll see.